Welcome to another Just Flying episode. A random Japanese episode today, which, I'll tell you a bit more on why, etc. when we get up in the air. So first let's take off from Ashiya Airport, RJFA. On this rather nice early morning, which looks quite pretty. Yeah, a few clouds that's not going to affect us, so yeah, we're all good for a VFR hand flying expedition in the DC-3, which I'm sure you guess that's what this plane is anyway. So let's get going. Back, left, up, right. Yeah, a little example of how to overcompensate on the rudder there. Never mind, we are up. Don't think we ran totally off the runway, so yeah, all good, we are flying. Anyway, let's leave one of the two Ashiyas, as I believe there is this town here called Ashiya, and also a small city called Ashiya, which is somewhere close to Osaka. This place, the town, that seems totally fine, but the city, that's slightly weird. I say that because you may know that gambling is generally banned in Japan, with a few exceptions, one of those being a game called Pachinko. Well, Ashiya City, they have banned Pachinko parlours, gambling entertainment facilities, as well as small factories. That's Wikipedia, not sure if a small factory actually translates to something else in Japan, or if it actually is a factory that is small, but seems a bit of an odd one. They also banned rooftop adverts, advertising balloons, and they have a complete ban on flashing lights. Yeah, the city, that sounds like a right bundle of laughs to live there, doesn't it? Yeah, come to Ashiya City and have no fun whatsoever, not even a little bit. You stop enjoying yourself right now. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be adding that city to the list of real world places I really want to visit. Yeah, anyway, Random Japan. You probably don't bother paying attention to such things, but these Just Flying series of videos, the titles of them, it's Just Flying, then a number, and then a subtitle, usually relating to something in the video. Well, I've just noticed that for some reason, well, actually I do know the reason, it's because I'm an idiot, but we recently went from episode 125 straight to episode 127 and missed 126 entirely. So here's our slightly late episode 126 of the Just Flying series, which has the benefit of there is now an episode 126, but the added bonus is that if you look at my videos on the channel in date order, you will have 125, 127, 128 and then 126. So that should really annoy people with OCD. Yeah, down below, some of the many bits of coastal reclaimed land in Japan. Down there is the Hakashima Exhibition Hall. which seems to be exhibits and materials and a whole museum related to oil storage. You take your oil, pour it into a container and then put the lid on, don't you? Sometimes it can be a really big container which you put your oil in. Occasionally a really massive container which you put your oil into, and the container then contains it. I must admit I am somewhat intrigued, and if I was passing I may well even go there just to see how the hell you can have a whole museum and exhibition related to storing oil. And I'm guessing I may well leave there thinking that's half an hour of my life I'm never going to get back, but you know what, I still think I probably would. A little bit of rain now, but still a nice day. The sky, the same lovely pinky orangey kind of colour that a pair of my white socks once turned into that time when I put a red t-shirt into the washing machine in the same bundle of laundry. Never mind. Yeah, getting a bit closer to our destination now, which will be Ozuki, RJOZ. Yeah, it seems like it might be a training airfield for the military, so I doubt that you can land here in real life, but we're not going to worry about things like that in X-Plane. Yeah, and then after landing we can go and visit a local restaurant called Drive-In Machizio, where Timothy Takamoto wrote in a review, "Good food, busy staff, no view, reasonable price. The name, meaning high tide, might suggest a sea view to some (brackets British) persons, but there are no obvious windows on one side, and one can see a small gravel garden from the window on the other side. But this is to be expected. I think that Japanese people can imagine the sea." Timothy, I am British. We can imagine the sea as well. Lots of people from many countries can actually imagine the sea. Imagining it's not actually just a Japanese thing. This may come as a bit of a shock to you, but yeah, imagining is a thing that lots of people can do all over the world. Yeah, I'm sorry to have to break it to you like that, Timothy, but if you were imagining that British people were not great at imagining, then I might suggest that the imagining failure could actually be at your end and not Britain or the rest of the world. Yeah, and also seeing that close to the airfield is a 7-Eleven convenience store, where in a review by somebody whose name is in Japanese, so I have no idea what it is, but they gave them 5 stars and wrote, "When I often go to pay, there are young male cashiers, older female cashiers and young female cashiers, and they were all very nice." I'm a little worried about how much attention you were paying to the cashiers there. Bit of a cashier fetish maybe? But also I see there was no mention of older male cashiers, which does actually make sense now, because just north of there is another convenience store called Family Mart, where somebody else whose name I can't read said in a review, "I have never seen such a horrible store. The male clerk who is there in the morning glares at the customers. Well, of course he's not happy. When you get to a certain age as a man, you get fired at 7-Eleven and have to go and work at Family Mart, where they only have one green stripe, no orange or red stripes on the shop front at all, just one green stripe. I'm a bit pissed off at that as well. You spend all your working life happily being a cashier, enjoying your job at the 7-Eleven with 3 stripes. Well, apart from the times when that weird guy comes in asking how old all the cashiers are, but ignoring him, you're having a great time until one day you get kicked out for being too old and also a man, and have to go and work at a different convenience store with a clearly inferior hoarding on the shop. I wouldn't just be glaring at customers, I'd be imagining, because I'm British and can imagine, punching all the customers in the face, or tying them up in the back of the van and then taking them to a nearby exhibition hall where they would be forced to watch a 15-minute video about oil storage, which says she heard she said wrongly. I think it will be a good learning experience not only for children but also for adults. For fuck's sake, it's an oil in a container. What the maybe it's a good thing that I never worked in retail. Anyway, here's the airfield. But a bit of wind, not too much, so that should be okay. Probably is a military place, as I can't see any parked aircraft. My Traffic Global plugin doesn't do military planes, so yeah, probably is a military airfield. See how we do, looking okay, lined up. Get in nice and gently. I don't think that was going to be one of my best. Have a look. Yeah, going a bit too slow there, I think, on that last bit of the approach, and didn't have quite enough airspeed for the elevators to have much effect, so kind of flew into the ground rather than having any sort of flare, but could have been worse. A solid landing, but it was a landing. Yeah, just imagine that it was better than that. Yeah, that's it. We'll taxi down to the apron and check that out. Seems a nice enough airfield for a default gateway one though, and as was the airfield we took off from. Have been there before, but this one, it's not triggering any memories, and I think this might be my first visit here. I don't use this Japanese stuff that often, and when I do it's just a case of picking 2 random airfields to fly between, so I'm sure there are others I've not been to yet. I can see a few moving service vehicles. Doubt the buildings look much like this in reality, but never mind. Yeah, they're nice enough. It will do. Yeah, it's okay, isn't it? So, yeah, let's go and park. And, yeah, we'll call that flight complete. So there we have it, the slightly late episode 126 from Ashiya to Ozuki. yeah, somewhere different, but we'll probably be back to New Zealand again and the next leg of the road trip next time. So until then, see you soon.